Introduction. The hidden power of listening. Have you ever felt unheard in a conversation? Or noticed that the most influential people often speak less but leave a lasting impact? In a world where everyone is eager to talk, few truly listen. Yet the ability to listen deeply can transform your relationships, enhance your communication skills, and elevate your influence. Listening is more than just being silent while someone else speaks. It's about creating a space where genuine understanding can flourish. When you master the art of listening, you connect more deeply, resolve conflicts effectively, and make your words more meaningful when you do choose to speak. This book will show you how to harness the power of listening to speak less and understand more. Are you ready to change the way you communicate? Let's begin. Chapter 1. Active listening. Listening is not just about hearing sounds. It is an art that fosters deep understanding. When you actively listen, you don't just hear words. You pay attention to tone, expressions, and the emotions behind them. This helps you build genuine connections and understand people on a deeper level. Active listening involves fully focusing, understanding, responding, and remembering what is being said. It requires more than just passive hearing. It demands engagement and presence. Many people listen with the intent to reply rather than to understand, which often leads to miscommunication. By shifting your focus from responding to truly comprehending, you create an environment where meaningful conversations can thrive. One of the key aspects of active listening is maintaining eye contact and using non-verbal cues such as nodding and facial expressions to show engagement. These subtle gestures convey that you are present and interested in what the other person is saying. Additionally, paraphrasing and summarizing what has been said ensures clarity and prevents misunderstandings. When people feel heard, they are more likely to trust and open up, fostering stronger relationships. Another critical component of active listening is eliminating distractions. In today's world of constant notifications and digital interruptions, it is easy to get distracted during conversations. Putting away your phone, maintaining an open posture, and practicing mindfulness can significantly enhance your ability to listen. By being fully present, you not only absorb information more effectively but also demonstrate respect for the speaker. The way you respond while listening also matters. Instead of immediately offering advice or sharing your own experiences, practice reflective listening by validating the speaker's feelings. Simple affirmations such as, "That sounds really challenging," or "I understand how you feel," create a sense of support and empathy. Encouraging the speaker to elaborate by asking open-ended questions can also lead to deeper discussions. Active listening is particularly important in conflict resolution. Many misunderstandings arise due to a lack of genuine listening. When people feel unheard, they tend to become defensive or frustrated, escalating the situation. By listening with patience and without interruption, you allow the other person to express their concerns fully. This approach often leads to finding common ground and resolving issues more effectively. Beyond personal relationships, active listening is a crucial skill in professional settings. Leaders, managers, and colleagues who listen attentively foster a workplace culture of trust and collaboration. Employees who feel heard are more engaged and motivated. During meetings or discussions, summarizing key points and acknowledging different perspectives enhances teamwork and productivity. Moreover, active listening is not just about processing words, but also about interpreting emotions and intentions. Sometimes what is left unsaid is just as important as what is spoken. Observing body language, tone, and facial expressions provides additional context that helps in understanding the true message. By becoming a better listener, you gain deeper insights into people's motivations, fears, and aspirations. Developing the habit of active listening takes practice, but the rewards are invaluable. It improves relationships, enhances communication skills, and helps in making more informed decisions. The next time you engage in a conversation, remind yourself to be fully present, set aside distractions, and listen with the intent to understand rather than to reply. With consistent effort, active listening will become a natural part of how you interact with the world, leading to more meaningful and impactful connections. Listening is not just about hearing sounds. It is an art that fosters deep understanding. When you actively listen, you don't just hear words. You pay attention to tone, expressions, and the emotions behind them. This helps you build genuine connections and understand people on a deeper level. Chapter 2. The Power of Silence. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It is a powerful communication tool. Knowing how to use silence effectively allows others to express their thoughts freely while making your words more impactful when you choose to speak. Silence creates space for reflection, giving conversations more depth and clarity. In a world filled with constant noise and chatter, the ability to embrace silence can set you apart as a thoughtful and intentional communicator. People often rush to fill silence with words out of discomfort, but those who master silence understand its value in building trust and creating meaningful interactions. The moments of silence between words allow ideas to settle, emotions to be processed, and responses to be more thoughtful. In leadership, the power of silence is even more crucial. Great leaders know that speaking less and listening more fosters an environment where employees feel heard and valued. Instead of dominating conversations, leaders who use silence wisely encourage their teams to contribute ideas, solve problems, and take ownership of their work. Additionally, silence is a powerful tool in negotiations, where a well-placed pause can prompt the other party to reveal more information or reconsider their stance. A negotiator who remains silent after making a proposal often compels the other party to respond first, which can be advantageous in securing favorable outcomes. Silence can also convey confidence and composure, making a leader or negotiator appear more authoritative and in control of the situation. In relationships, silence allows for deeper emotional connections. Instead of reacting impulsively during disagreements, a pause can help regulate emotions and lead to more constructive conversations. When you allow silence to exist without forcing immediate responses, you create an atmosphere of understanding and mutual respect. Many conflicts arise when people feel the need to fill every moment with words, sometimes saying things they later regret. Silence gives individuals the opportunity to reflect before responding, ensuring that words are chosen carefully and meaningfully. When two people can sit together in silence comfortably, it often indicates a strong bond built on trust and understanding. Furthermore, silence enhances self-awareness. Taking moments of silence to reflect on your thoughts, emotions, and actions can lead to greater clarity and better decision-making. Practicing mindfulness and intentional silence helps to cultivate inner peace, reduce stress, and improve overall well-being. In a world driven by constant distractions, creating a habit of intentional silence allows you to reconnect with yourself and focus on what truly matters. Many of history's greatest thinkers and innovators have attributed their breakthroughs to moments of deep contemplation in silence. By stepping away from the noise of daily life, you give yourself the space to think more clearly and make more intentional choices. Silence also plays a crucial role in storytelling and public speaking. Effective speakers know that strategic pauses can emphasize key points and make their message more memorable. A well-timed silence builds anticipation, engages the audience, and adds weight to the words that follow. When an audience expects a speaker to continue talking, but instead experiences a pause, their attention sharpens and they become more engaged. The absence of sound can be just as powerful as the words themselves, creating a moment of reflection and heightened awareness. Many of the world's greatest orators, from Martin Luther King Jr. to Barack Obama, have mastered the art of using silence to enhance their speeches. Mastering the art of silence is about becoming comfortable with quiet moments and understanding that they are not empty but full of potential. It requires patience and confidence to resist the urge to fill every gap with unnecessary words. In professional settings, silence can be a strategic tool to gauge reactions, control the pace of discussions, and allow time for critical thinking. Instead of rushing to respond to a question or challenge, taking a brief pause signals thoughtfulness and deliberation. This technique is particularly valuable in high-pressure situations where a composed response is more effective than a reactive one. There is also a profound cultural aspect to the use of silence. In some cultures, such as Japan and Finland, silence is highly valued and considered a sign of wisdom, respect, and contemplation. In contrast, Western cultures often emphasize verbal communication and can view silence as awkward or uncomfortable. Understanding these cultural differences in communication can help individuals navigate cross-cultural interactions more effectively, demonstrating respect and adaptability. Beyond personal and professional benefits, silence has a transformative impact on mental and emotional health. With the rise of digital connectivity. Chapter 3. Speak less, understand more. In a world that rewards constant talking and self-promotion, the ability to speak less and understand more is a rare and valuable skill. Many people equate speaking with influence, yet the most impactful communicators know that the real power lies in measured, intentional speech. When you reduce unnecessary words and focus on meaningful expression, you enhance clarity, strengthen relationships, and improve your ability to truly grasp the thoughts and emotions of those around you. Speaking less does not mean withholding thoughts or being passive. It means choosing words with care and purpose. Every conversation presents an opportunity to listen deeply and process what is being said before responding. Too often, people feel compelled to fill silences with words, believing that talking more equates to having more authority or presence. However, excessive talking can dilute a message, cause misunderstandings, and even make others disengage. Those who master the art of concise, thoughtful speech command greater respect and attention when they do choose to speak. One of the key aspects of speaking less is resisting the urge to interrupt. Many people listen just to respond, rather than to understand. They formulate their replies while the other person is still speaking, leading to shallow interactions. Instead, adopting a mindset of patience and curiosity allows for deeper engagement. When you give others the space to express themselves fully before responding, they feel valued, and the conversation becomes richer and more meaningful. Another advantage of speaking less is that it forces you to refine your thoughts before verbalizing them. Instead of thinking out loud or rambling, take a moment to mentally structure your response. Ask yourself, is this adding value to the conversation? Is this the most effective way to communicate my point? By filtering your words before speaking, you ensure that your message is clear, precise, and impactful. This principle is particularly important in professional settings. Leaders, executives, and successful negotiators understand that measured speech carries more weight. When you speak only when necessary and with confidence, people take your words more seriously. In meetings, those who contribute selectively, focusing on well-thought-out points, tend to leave a stronger impression than those who speak continuously without purpose. Similarly, in negotiations, silence can be a powerful tool. When you pause instead of filling gaps with unnecessary words, it often compels the other party to speak, revealing valuable information. Speaking less also enhances relationships. In personal interactions, people appreciate being truly heard rather than being overwhelmed by another person's monologue. Conversations should be a two-way exchange, where both parties feel acknowledged and understood. By limiting your words and focusing on listening, you demonstrate empathy and emotional intelligence, which strengthens bonds and fosters trust. Relationships built on active listening rather than excessive talking tend to be deeper and more authentic. In addition, speaking less can help prevent misunderstandings and conflicts. Many disagreements escalate due to hastily spoken words or unnecessary elaboration. When emotions run high, the impulse to talk excessively can lead to saying things that might be regretted later. Practicing restraint and choosing words carefully can prevent miscommunication and allow for more thoughtful dialogue. In moments of tension, silence, or a well-timed pause can de-escalate a situation more effectively than a rushed response. Another benefit of speaking less is that it allows you to observe and absorb information more effectively. People who talk constantly often miss subtle cues in conversations, body language, tone shifts, and unspoken emotions. By maintaining a balance between speaking and observing, you become more perceptive and attuned to the needs and perspectives of those around you. This increased awareness enhances your ability to navigate social and professional situations with greater ease and insight. The art of speaking less also applies to written communication. In the digital age, where emails, texts, and online messages dominate interactions, brevity is often more effective than lengthy explanations. Learning to convey thoughts concisely in writing, whether in emails, social media posts, or professional reports, ensures that your message is received clearly and retains its impact. Overloading messages with unnecessary details can cause the reader to lose focus, whereas concise communication commands attention and respect. While speaking less offers numerous benefits, it is important to balance this approach with genuine engagement. The goal is not to become silent or withdrawn, but to cultivate purposeful speech. Knowing when to speak and when to listen is an essential skill that enhances both personal and professional interactions. Thoughtful, measured communication creates an environment where ideas are exchanged meaningfully, and every word carries weight. Ultimately, the practice of speaking less and understanding more is about valuing quality over quantity in communication. By choosing words carefully, listening attentively, and embracing moments of silence, you can foster deeper connections, gain greater insights, and communicate with more impact. The next time you find yourself in a conversation, take a moment to pause, truly listen, and ensure that when you do speak, your words hold true value. Instead of talking excessively, focus on conveying what truly matters. Learning to be concise and meaningful in your speech will make you a more effective communicator. Speaking less gives you more time to observe, reflect, and truly understand others. Chapter 4. Non-verbal communication. Listening beyond words. Communication extends far beyond the words we speak. While verbal language conveys explicit messages, non-verbal communication, body language, facial expressions, eye contact, tone of voice, and gestures plays an equally, if not more, significant role in how we connect with others. Learning to interpret these subtle cues can deepen our understanding of others, enhance our ability to respond appropriately, and foster stronger relationships. When we truly listen beyond words, we open ourselves to a richer, more authentic form of communication. One of the most powerful aspects of non-verbal communication is body language. The way we stand, move, and position ourselves speaks volumes about our emotions, confidence, and intentions. Open body language, such as uncrossed arms, relaxed posture, and leaning slightly forward, signals engagement and receptiveness. In contrast, closed body language, crossed arms, turned away posture, or frequent fidgeting can indicate discomfort, defensiveness, or disinterest. Being mindful of these signals in ourselves and others allows us to navigate conversations with greater awareness and effectiveness. Facial expressions are another essential component of non-verbal communication. A simple smile can convey warmth and approachability, while furrowed brows or a tense jaw may indicate frustration or concern. Unlike words, which can be consciously manipulated, facial expressions often reveal genuine emotions. Skilled communicators pay close attention to these cues to assess how someone is truly feeling, even when their words suggest otherwise. Eye contact is a fundamental part of effective communication. It conveys confidence, sincerity, and attentiveness. Maintaining appropriate eye contact demonstrates that you are actively engaged and interested in the conversation. However, too much eye contact can feel intimidating, while too little may suggest disinterest or dishonesty. The key is to strike a natural balance, using eye contact to reinforce connections without making the other person uncomfortable. Tone of voice carries emotional weight and influences how messages are received. The same sentence can take on different meanings depending on the speaker's tone. A warm, steady tone conveys confidence and approachability, while a harsh or hurried tone may create tension. When listening to others, paying attention to their tone of voice provides valuable insights into their emotions and intentions, helping you respond with greater empathy and understanding. Gestures also play a crucial role in non-verbal communication. Hand movements, nodding, and even the way we position our feet can reinforce or contradict spoken words. For example, an open palm gesture conveys honesty and sincerity, while pointing or clenched fists can signal aggression or frustration. Learning to use gestures effectively can enhance clarity and engagement in conversations, making your communication more compelling and dynamic. One of the most overlooked aspects of non-verbal communication is the importance of silence and pauses. A well-timed pause can emphasize a point, allow the listener to absorb information, and create a moment of reflection. Silence can also convey agreement, contemplation, or even disagreement, depending on the context. Understanding when to use silence strategically can make your communication more powerful and persuasive. Cultural differences play a significant role in non-verbal communication. In some cultures, direct eye contact is a sign of confidence and respect, while in others it may be considered confrontational or inappropriate. Similarly, gestures that are positive in one culture may carry negative connotations in another. Being aware of these cultural nuances allows for more effective cross-cultural communication and prevents misunderstandings. Non-verbal cues are especially important in professional settings. During job interviews, negotiations, or presentations, your body language and facial expressions can influence how others perceive your competence, confidence, and credibility. Leaders who master non-verbal communication inspire trust, command attention, and create a positive presence without needing to say much. By consciously aligning non-verbal signals with verbal messages, you can enhance your leadership and communication skills significantly. Developing non-verbal communication skills requires awareness and practice. Observing others, being mindful of your own signals, and making adjustments based on feedback can improve your ability to connect and communicate more effectively. Recording yourself during conversations or presentations and analyzing your body language can also provide valuable insights into areas for improvement. Ultimately, becoming fluent in non-verbal communication helps you become a more attentive listener, a more persuasive speaker, and a more empathetic individual. By tuning in to the silent messages conveyed through body language, expressions, and gestures, you gain deeper insights into the thoughts and emotions of others. In doing so, you cultivate stronger relationships, enhance your personal and professional interactions, and master the art of listening beyond words. Not everything is expressed through words. Body language, eye contact, gestures, and tone often reveal more than spoken words. Learning to listen to these signals will make you more perceptive and insightful in communication. Chapter 5. Asking the right questions. The ability to ask the right questions is one of the most valuable skills in effective communication. Questions shape conversations, unlock insights, and build meaningful relationships. Whether in personal interactions, professional settings, or self-reflection, mastering the art of inquiry can transform the way we understand and connect with others. Great communicators don't just provide answers, they know how to ask thoughtful questions that invite deeper discussion. The best questions are open-ended, encouraging the other person to share more than just a yes or no response. Instead of asking, "Did you like the presentation?" a more insightful approach would be, "What stood out to you in the presentation?" This small shift in phrasing invites richer responses and fosters meaningful dialogue. In professional environments, leaders who ask the right questions cultivate innovation and critical thinking. Instead of dictating solutions, they pose questions that encourage their teams to explore possibilities and develop their own conclusions. For example, rather than saying, "We need to fix this problem immediately," a leader might ask, "What solutions have we not yet considered?" By fostering a culture of inquiry, organizations become more adaptive and open to fresh ideas. In personal relationships, asking the right questions demonstrates active listening and emotional intelligence. Instead of assuming how someone feels, a question like, "How did that situation make you feel?" allows for authentic expression. When people feel genuinely heard, trust and understanding deepen. Thoughtful questions can also help navigate conflicts by shifting the focus from blame to resolution. Asking, "What do you think we can do to move forward?" redirects attention from past grievances to future solutions. Another critical aspect of effective questioning is timing. Asking a question too soon can feel intrusive, while delaying a necessary question may result in lost opportunities. Pausing before asking allows you to gauge the emotional state of the person and ensures the question is appropriate for the moment. Beyond external interactions, the right questions also play a vital role in self-reflection. Questions like, "What are my core values?" or "How can I improve my relationships?" prompt introspection and personal growth. Journaling or simply taking a few moments each day to ask yourself meaningful questions can lead to greater self-awareness and intentional living. In negotiations and problem-solving, well-structured questions help uncover underlying interests and motivations. Instead of pushing for an immediate decision, asking, "What is most important to you in this situation?" provides insight into priorities and potential compromises. The ability to ask rather than assume is a key strategy for successful outcomes in both personal and professional interactions. Ultimately, the art of asking the right questions is about fostering deeper conversations, understanding perspectives, and guiding discussions toward meaningful outcomes. Whether in leadership, relationships, or self-improvement, refining this skill allows for more intentional and impactful communication. Great communicators don't just speak well, they know how to ask the right questions. A well-placed question can open up deep conversations, uncover new perspectives, and foster stronger connections. Asking thoughtful, open-ended questions encourages meaningful dialogue and allows others to express themselves fully. Instead of focusing on giving answers, great communicators understand that curiosity and inquiry are powerful tools for understanding others and gaining deeper insights. The way a question is framed can determine the quality of the response. Open-ended questions such as, "What do you think about this?" or "How do you feel about that situation?" invite richer, more detailed answers. In contrast, closed-ended questions that require only a simple yes or no often limit the depth of the conversation. By mastering the art of inquiry, you create an environment where people feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, leading to more engaging and insightful discussions. In professional settings, asking the right questions can help leaders and managers identify challenges, clarify expectations, and drive innovation. Instead of dictating solutions, leaders who ask questions empower their teams to think critically and arrive at their own conclusions. This approach not only fosters creativity, but also builds trust and encourages a culture of collaboration. In personal relationships, thoughtful questions demonstrate genuine interest and empathy. People appreciate when they feel heard and understood, and asking insightful questions shows that you value their perspectives. Instead of making assumptions, asking clarifying questions can prevent misunderstandings and strengthen connections. Another key aspect of effective questioning is timing. Asking a question at the right moment can shift the direction of a conversation, diffuse tension, or prompt deeper reflection. Pausing before asking a question allows you to gauge the mood and receptiveness of the other person, ensuring that your inquiry is impactful. The ability to ask great questions is also valuable in problem-solving and decision-making. Instead of jumping to conclusions, asking, "What are the possible alternatives?" or "What might we be overlooking?" encourages a more comprehensive exploration of solutions. This approach leads to better outcomes and helps individuals and teams navigate complex challenges with greater clarity. Beyond professional and personal interactions, asking the right questions can be a tool for self-reflection and personal growth. Questions such as, "What drives my decisions?" or "What can I learn from this situation?" allow you to gain deeper self-awareness and make more intentional choices. By consistently questioning your own assumptions and perspectives, you cultivate a mindset of continuous learning and self-improvement. Effective questioning also plays a critical role in education and mentoring. Teachers, coaches, and mentors use strategic questioning to guide students and mentees towards self-discovery and problem-solving. Instead of providing direct answers, they encourage individuals to think critically and arrive at their own insights, fostering independent thinking and resilience. The impact of asking the right questions extends into negotiations and sales as well. Skilled negotiators know that well-placed questions can reveal hidden needs and motivations, allowing them to craft solutions that satisfy both parties. Similarly, in sales, understanding a customer's true needs often comes from asking insightful questions rather than making assumptions. In today's digital age, where conversations are often reduced to brief messages or social media interactions, the ability to ask meaningful questions is more valuable than ever. Thoughtful inquiry deepens relationships and fosters more substantive interactions, counteracting the superficiality that often dominates modern communication. Ultimately, asking the right questions is a skill that enhances communication, builds stronger relationships, and fosters a culture of curiosity and continuous learning. By practicing intentional inquiry, you can unlock new ideas, deepen understanding, and create more meaningful connections in both personal and professional interactions. The more you refine your ability to ask great questions, the more engaged, insightful, and effective you will become in every conversation. Great communicators don't just speak well, they know how to ask the right questions. A well-placed question can open up deep conversations, uncover new perspectives, and foster stronger connections. Chapter 6. Silence in Leadership. Silence is one of the most underappreciated tools in leadership. While many assume that great leaders must always have the right words, true influence often comes from knowing when to remain silent. Strategic silence fosters trust, encourages collaboration, and enhances decision-making. Leaders who harness the power of silence create space for others to contribute, guiding conversations with intention rather than volume. One of the greatest strengths of a leader is the ability to listen actively. Silence signals attentiveness, showing employees or team members that their opinions are valued. When a leader remains silent rather than immediately responding, it allows for deeper reflection and demonstrates respect for differing perspectives. This approach fosters a culture of openness and psychological safety, where individuals feel comfortable expressing their thoughts. In decision-making, silence can be a leader's greatest asset. Taking a moment before speaking or making a final decision provides the time needed to assess all perspectives, preventing knee-jerk reactions and ensuring more thoughtful conclusions. Silence also creates an opportunity to observe body language, tone, and emotions, offering insight into what may not be explicitly stated. Silence is equally powerful in conflict resolution. When tensions rise, the instinct may be to react quickly, but a well-timed pause can diffuse emotions and create space for clearer communication. Rather than engaging in a heated exchange, leaders who embrace silence encourage others to express their frustrations fully before responding with measured solutions. This practice not only prevents misunderstandings, but also leads to more constructive outcomes. In negotiations, silence is a strategic tool that can shift the balance of power. When a leader makes a statement or offer and then remains silent, the other party often feels compelled to fill the void. This can lead to revealing crucial information or making concessions they might not have otherwise considered. Skilled negotiators understand that silence can prompt more productive discussions than a barrage of words. A leader's presence is often defined by their ability to remain composed under pressure. Silence exudes confidence and authority, demonstrating control over the situation. Instead of rushing to fill conversational gaps, a leader who speaks sparingly but purposefully commands attention and respect. The most influential leaders understand that their words carry more weight when they are used intentionally. Silence also plays a role in fostering innovation. By giving teams the space to think, reflect, and speak without interruption, leaders encourage creativity and problem-solving. When leaders speak less, they create room for fresh ideas to emerge. Great ideas often arise in moments of quiet contemplation rather than during constant discussion. Culturally, silence is perceived differently across societies. In some cultures, silence is a sign of wisdom and thoughtfulness, while in others it may be mistaken for disengagement. Effective leaders understand these nuances and adapt their communication style accordingly, ensuring that silence is used to enhance interactions rather than create discomfort. Developing the discipline to embrace silence requires self-awareness and patience. Practicing intentional silence, whether by pausing before responding, Actively listening without interruption or allowing moments of reflection enhances a leader's ability to communicate with clarity and impact. Leaders who understand the value of silence cultivate environments where people feel heard, respected, and empowered. Ultimately, silence in leadership is not about the absence of speech, but the presence of understanding. By mastering the strategic use of silence, leaders create stronger connections, make better decisions, and guide their teams with wisdom and confidence. Chapter 7. Listening to Resolve. Conflicts. Conflict is an inevitable part of human interaction. Whether in personal relationships, workplaces, or social settings, disagreements arise due to differing perspectives, emotions, and needs. However, how conflicts are handled determines whether they escalate into lasting disputes or transform into opportunities for growth and understanding. One of the most powerful tools in conflict resolution is active listening. Active listening involves fully concentrating, understanding, and responding to what is being said. Many conflicts persist because individuals focus on formulating their responses, rather than genuinely understanding the other person's viewpoint. By shifting the focus from speaking to truly listening, conflicts can be diffused, and solutions can emerge more naturally. When people feel heard and validated, they are less likely to become defensive and more willing to engage in constructive dialogue. One essential technique in conflict resolution is reflective listening. This involves repeating back or summarizing what the other person has said to ensure accurate understanding. For example, saying, "So what I hear you saying is that you felt overlooked during the project," helps clarify perspectives and prevents misinterpretations. This not only validates the speaker's feelings, but also demonstrates a sincere effort to understand their concerns. Empathy plays a crucial role in resolving conflicts. When individuals listen with empathy, they acknowledge the emotions behind the words. Instead of dismissing someone's frustration, responding with, "I can see why that situation was upsetting for you," fosters mutual respect and opens the door for resolution. Empathy does not mean agreeing with everything the other person says. Rather, it signifies a willingness to recognize their feelings as valid. Silence can be a powerful tool in conflict resolution. Instead of reacting impulsively, taking a moment of silence before responding can help regulate emotions and prevent escalation. Pausing allows both parties to collect their thoughts, lowering the risk of saying something in the heat of the moment that might be regretted later. This measured approach encourages more thoughtful and deliberate conversations. Asking the right questions can also help navigate conflicts effectively. Open-ended questions such as, "What would help you feel more supported?" or "How do you think we can resolve this together?" encourage problem-solving rather than blame. These types of questions shift the focus from past grievances to future solutions, fostering collaboration and shared understanding. In personal relationships, effective listening can strengthen connections. Disagreements are natural, but how partners, friends, or family members handle them determines the health of the relationship. Instead of responding with defensiveness, taking the time to listen actively and express understanding leads to deeper emotional bonds. When people feel truly heard, they are more willing to compromise and find mutually beneficial solutions. Ultimately, listening to resolve conflicts requires patience, self-awareness, and a genuine commitment to understanding others. By prioritizing listening over speaking, using empathy, and asking thoughtful questions, conflicts can be transformed into opportunities for growth, connection, and improved relationships. Chapter 8. The Art of Listening in the Digital Age. The rise of digital communication has dramatically changed the way people interact. While technology allows for instant connection, It has also led to shorter attention spans and more superficial conversations. In an era of constant notifications, emails, and social media interactions, the ability to truly listen has become more valuable than ever. One of the biggest challenges of the digital age is the distraction of multitasking. People often check their phones while having face-to-face conversations, reducing their ability to fully engage. True listening requires undivided attention. Putting away devices, maintaining eye contact, and focusing on the speaker's words help restore the depth and authenticity of human connection. Text-based communication, such as emails and messages, presents another challenge. Without vocal tone, facial expressions, or body language, it is easy to misinterpret intentions. In digital communication, taking the time to read messages carefully, asking clarifying questions, and using thoughtful responses can enhance understanding and prevent unnecessary conflicts. Social media has also influenced how people listen. With the constant stream of posts and opinions, many engage in reactive listening, skimming through content and responding instantly, often without fully considering the message. Practicing mindful listening by taking time to process and reflect on what is being said before responding fosters more meaningful digital interactions. Virtual meetings and video calls have become the norm, making active listening even more critical. Simple habits such as muting distractions, nodding to show engagement, and summarizing key points help create a more interactive and productive conversation. In remote work settings, where face-to-face interactions are limited, intentional listening strengthens collaboration and team cohesion. Despite its challenges, digital communication also offers opportunities to enhance listening skills. Podcasts, audiobooks, and online courses provide ways to practice active listening and learn from diverse perspectives. Engaging in discussions on online forums, where thoughtful responses are encouraged, can also improve one's ability to articulate ideas and listen to others. To thrive in the digital age, balancing technology with genuine human connection is essential. By being mindful of distractions, practicing patience in digital conversations, and making a conscious effort to listen deeply, people can foster stronger, more meaningful relationships even in a technology-driven world. Chapter 9. Conclusion: The power of true listening. Listening is not merely a passive act, but a powerful tool for connection, influence, and understanding. Throughout this book, we have explored the profound impact that active listening can have on personal relationships, leadership, and conflict resolution. The ability to truly listen can transform how we engage with others, making conversations more meaningful and interactions more effective. One of the greatest lessons in mastering the art of listening is understanding that communication is not just about speaking, but about being present. When we listen with intention, without rushing to respond or judge, we create space for authentic dialogue. This presence fosters trust, encourages openness, and allows us to see the world through the perspectives of others. The best communicators are not those who dominate conversations, but those who make others feel truly heard and valued. In leadership, listening is a foundational skill. Leaders who actively listen empower their teams, build stronger relationships, and create an environment where individuals feel valued. Rather than issuing directives, effective leaders listen first, ask the right questions, and make informed decisions based on the collective wisdom of their teams. The best leaders are not those who talk the most, but those who listen the best. A workplace culture that values listening leads to better collaboration, innovation, and employee satisfaction. In personal relationships, listening deepens emotional connections. When we truly hear someone, without interruption, judgment, or distraction, we validate their experiences and emotions. This validation fosters intimacy, mutual respect, and understanding. Many conflicts arise not because of fundamental differences, but because one or both parties feel unheard. Practicing active listening can bridge these gaps and strengthen bonds. Additionally, by paying attention to nonverbal cues such as body language and tone, we can gain deeper insight into the emotions and unspoken messages behind words. In the digital age, where distractions are abundant and conversations are often reduced to quick texts and short responses, the ability to listen deeply has become even more valuable. Making a conscious effort to engage fully, whether in person or online, can enhance communication and prevent misunderstandings. By slowing down and giving conversations the attention they deserve, we can foster more meaningful connections even in a fast-paced world. Setting aside dedicated time for face-to-face conversations and practicing mindful listening can counteract the superficiality that digital communication sometimes brings. The impact of true listening extends beyond individual relationships. It shapes how communities function, how businesses thrive, and how societies evolve. A world where people genuinely listen to each other fosters inclusivity, understanding, and collaboration. Listening well allows us to resolve conflicts peacefully, embrace diverse viewpoints, and build bridges between differing perspectives. In a society that often values speaking over listening, those who cultivate this skill stand out as compassionate leaders and thoughtful problem solvers. Ultimately, listening is a lifelong practice. It requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to grow. It is not about simply hearing words, but about understanding emotions, intentions, and perspectives. Those who master the art of listening become better communicators, stronger leaders, and more compassionate individuals. It is a skill that can be honed with effort and dedication, bringing immeasurable benefits to every aspect of life. As you move forward, challenge yourself to be a better listener. In conversations with colleagues, friends, family, and even strangers, make a conscious effort to be fully present. Observe not just words, but tone, expressions, and emotions. Practice asking thoughtful questions and allowing silence when needed. By doing so, you will unlock deeper connections, resolve conflicts more effectively, and cultivate relationships built on trust and mutual understanding. The power of true listening lies in its ability to transform both the speaker and the listener. When we listen with intention and openness, we create space for understanding, growth, and meaningful connections that can positively impact every aspect of our lives. By embracing the art of listening, we not only enrich our personal and professional relationships, but also contribute to a more empathetic and understanding world. Listening is a gift, one that we give to others and to ourselves. In a world that often moves too fast, where voices compete to be heard, the ability to pause and truly listen sets us apart. It strengthens our relationships, deepens our understanding, and allows us to connect with people in ways that words alone cannot achieve. As you close this book, take with you the commitment to listen with your heart, to be present in every conversation, and to let silence speak as powerfully as words. By doing so, you will make a difference, not just in your own life, but in the lives of everyone you encounter.